Hi there, people. This is Marco Hietala here. You're watching Metal from Finland. Sweaty. It's been a sweaty summer, really nice and warm here in Finland. So actually, it's been pretty peaceful also, not that many festival shows or anything, so mostly I've been hanging around the hometown beaches with my boys. Well, this is a kind of a bunch of guys that has a certain, we have a certain personal chemistry, which involves a tight friendship, lots of low humor, and there you basically go. And there's not really that much of a secret there. We just managed to kind of grow over the small things, overlook the quirks, and just go with this bunch of guys for a long time. And sure, there's been a lot of thin years, there's also, but somehow it just seems that we come back together to do some rock and roll music.
So you would say nowadays all is good?
Yeah, all is good. I mean, I think we all enjoy doing these shows and enjoy hanging around each other and talk some bullshit in the late nights, tour buses and all that. So, yeah. Well, I think that there was a lot of bad stuff going on for the band. I mean, we lost a record company, and it was hard to get a deal at the time. I mean, there were a lot of like more trash metal music coming over, and we were still playing the more old school metal from the new wave of British heavy metal, kind of in the vein of those things. And it was harder for us to get the album deals again. We're doing some demos, shows now and then, but yeah, those were thin years, and we just had to kind of find the energy and find some, like, you know, sponsorship for us to go over and start doing albums again. And we actually managed to do that with the help of one of our friends, Mr. Tuomo Leskinen, who actually did take some bank loans and everything and booked us the studio and paid for us to record the album To Live Forever. And from there on we kind of started doing things again stubbornly in our own vein.
So you didn't have a label?
No, we didn't. We actually had the ready-made master already when we contacted Blue Light Records, which then released To Live Forever and a few of the albums after that. Actually, funny thing is that Mika Myyrläinen from Blue Light Records was talking to me on the phone, and he said, how would you guys like to do this album again, so that if they could manage to make some kind of a deal with King Fu and Blue Light, the release would be double, with the remaster of the old one and then definitely a new re-recorded the first album. And I was like, sounds like a nice idea. And then I just said it to the guys, that would we have the energy to record the whole thing again? And everybody was, oh hell, why the hell not? And just let's take some time in order to really rearrange the whole thing and look over the whole structure of songs and everything, because we have two singers these days. There would have to be vocal harmonies, split vocals. We have keyboards these days. We didn't have them at the time, so we would have to arrange all the songs for those. And when we got over to Janne's small studio and started going over the structures of the songs with Pekko the drummer, Janne the keyboard player, in order for all these things to have a certain like fresh perspective. And it just started to happen that we were like, hey, this one's gonna work, this one's gonna go this way, and blah 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 blah. And it got to the point where, okay, I'm gonna have to write some lyrics again in order to have the fresh perspective and all that. And it just happened. But of course, it came to also pass that, well, the Blue Light and King Fu didn't really get into arrangement how to do the double package, so we ended up releasing just a new version of the album. And like I said, all the songs, they are definitely different from the ones that we did first time. And we just wanted it to sound like what the band is today.
And the funny thing is that you actually had the same cover, just keep it on this century.
Yeah.
And the tarot card was replaced by a credit card.
Yeah, that's true. And the original idea for me was that we should have black American Express there. You get black American Express card when you actually have $1 million coming into your account in 1 year. And okay, you've been playing with a rock and roll band for 25 years, so of course you should have $1 million coming into your account again. But the slight self-irony there, we actually don't, which anybody could have guessed. So, but then again, since we don't have millions in our account, we thought that maybe we should scrap the Black American Express, because if the lawyers from their company called us and pulled this album off, we wouldn't have the funds to fight their lawyers, and we wouldn't want to go into that. So we changed the whole thing into a little bit more Finnish and a little bit more from the area where we come from Savo, since you have the fish head from the fish pie and Savonian Express there. So yeah, a little bit inside humor there as well. Well, I mean, they're all like children of their times. I don't regret anything that we've done. Of course, there are things we could have done better, whether sound-wise or playing, or even write better songs at the time, but still I don't regret anything. Of course, the first one is a special because it's considered as something like groundbreaking and album in Finnish heavy metal in those early times when the whole scene was starting out. And also, as I see the modern state of the band started probably from Suffer Our Pleasures, continuing from Crows Fly Black and Gravity Light into re-recording the Spell of Iron. So these 4 latest and the first one are probably like the most important to me these days. But I think that there are hell of a good songs in all of the albums. Some of them are not. But then again, I think every band or every band member in whatever band thinks that, okay, this song we could have scrapped at the time.
So it's difficult to decide in a sense.
No, yeah.
Trying to ask you which one is your favorite child.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love them all.
I love them all.
Yeah. I do rehearse. I mean, I mean, singing is a physical job. You got to realize that you actually use muscles and tendons and all that. And I still do the basic thing that I did when I was starting out as a singer. I started singing basically when I was 11, hearing Long Live Rock and Roll from Rainbow and Ronnie James Dio's. Ronnie James Dio's performance on that album is exceptional, and that got me into singing. I was listening to that album all the time when I was 11, singing along with the songs, learned all the lyrics and everything. And when I was 13, I was singing in my first school band, and I still rehearse pretty much the same way. I have a certain, in my working room, I have a bunch of songs in a computer. I put them on and I sing along with them. And occasionally I change one song from there, 2 songs from there, and go over them in order to just keep things fresh. But that's pretty much it. And in that way, I'm pretty much like a self-educated guy in singing. But I also, when I was 15, I was in a musical high school. I went there and had some vocal lessons, which gave me a certain perspective on how to use your whole body from the toes to the top of your head, and how to breathe in between certain, consonants or vowels or whatever. And that helps. But then again, my classical teachers never really liked my sound, so fuck them anyway. I'm mostly self-educated.
But I think at the same time, the sound is a gift.
Yeah, I think it's true. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that somebody can smoke for 70 years and never have a cough or anything, and then somebody smokes for 2 years and dies from lung cancer. It's a nice set of genes, I think, and also it's a pretty much from a growing up in a musical environment. I mean, my father, he's a hell of a jazz freak. He was listening to a lot of stuff when I was a kid, and also classical. He had rock and roll albums from Beatles and from Elvis, and I was growing up also listening to those. A lot of Irish like folk music, which I enjoy still immensely, and going on from there to Black Sabbath and things like that was pretty easy for me. Yeah, I mean, we were pretty fed up with it for some time, but there were a lot of people complaining about the lack of Wings of Darkness in the live set after we did touring after Gravity of Light. But I pretty much had the idea, okay, that 2011 is gonna be like quarter of the century anniversary, so we're gonna be bringing a lot of old songs to the set. And now we also got an extra boost because we did the arranging with the keys and double vocals, and also used a lot of baritone guitar on the riffs and all that, so it has a certain new kick to it. Now it's fun to play it again.
Yeah, last year in Myötätuuli you didn't play Wings of Darkness.
No, we didn't. Yeah.
I was there and I noticed.
I'm sorry. You're gonna hear it today. Well, fans around the world. What would I like to say? I would like to say that if they enjoy music from hairy, stubborn, narrow-minded bunch of Finnish Savonian country boys, they should definitely keep checking out what we do.